Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and topics important to you, the sports fan in Florida. We are game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog. I'm the sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media today, the prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes. He's right over there. I'm looking right at him. He is the executive producer, the man who puts the go into the show. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeart Radio app and the YouTube machine. And we want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. As always, you can hit us up on that Mills There text line 50857. Better yet, step into the rage cage if you dare. That's the little red talkback microphone at the top of the page on the iHeart Radio app. Press that button and leave us a hot take, and you may win a prize if you're good enough, if you're bold enough, if you're bodacious enough,
daring enough,
right? Absolutely.
To do so. We'd love to hear from you. We have Caribe Royale boxing tickets to give away, and I've been told we've got Orlando Storm playoff tickets in Daytona to give away. Unique in its nature. First ever Orlando Storm playoff game. So you can be part of history.
First ever Orlando Storm playoff game in Daytona.
Probably the only ever.
That's right. That's right. All right, we got a lot to get to, so we're going to get to some highlights and headlines right now. Okay, we have the NBA Finals starting tomorrow night, but tonight the Stanley Cup Finals kick off. What did they say? Kickoff or face off tonight? The Carolina Hurricanes and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals in a pairing of two non-traditional hockey markets. Kravitz, we always talk about how getting a baseball team in Orlando would be great, or getting an NFL team in Orlando. But we have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights. What about getting a hockey team here in Orlando? The Lightning have been ultra successful over in Tampa. Obviously, the Panthers have been successful down in South Florida. Maybe a hockey team should be in our future. Not baseball, not NFL.
Hockey has been quite successful in the state. The Panthers have a pretty good fan base.
Yeah.
The Lightning have a great fan base. It would be puck drop, by the way. Puck drop tonight in the Stanley Cup Final. But
I mean, hell, it works in Vegas. Vegas, in the middle of the desert.
True. And they've been very successful early on in their run, which hasn't hurt a bit. Here's the thing. To that idea, you already have a facility for it. You don't need to build anything. You don't need to ask the taxpayers for money.
Right.
You just play at Kia Center when the Magic aren't playing.
Yeah. So
I like it.
Okay, there you go. Big news in the sports apparel world. Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry has signed an endorsement contract with controversial Chinese sports apparel company Li Ning. All right, this has been a long, drawn-out recruitment process. Curry, of course, left Under Armour in November. He announced that at the end of his sneaker free agency Monday that this is a landmark deal. Li Ning will expand his Curry brand globally. The agreement will include basketball products, athleisure lifestyle wear, the ability for Curry to sign male and female athletes under his own brand. Now, Li Ning, Kravitz, and other companies in China's Xinjiang region. I've been reading on this, all right?
I can tell.
All right. They have been identified by the U.S. government and human rights groups as using forced labor to produce their goods. Li Ning, by the way, was banned in the United States in 2022. All of their merchandise banned in the U.S. in 2022. Kravitz, forced labor in China is essentially China's government forcing certain groups of people like the Uyghur Muslims into forced labor. And if they don't want to go, guess what? They get punished or put in jail.
So it's slavery.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds a lot like what was happening to black people in this country during a sordid part of our history. I don't think Steph Curry should be endorsing this company.
Yeah, you're probably right. I have not done nearly the research that you have done, so mine includes whatever you just said. I'll take your word for it. I think if I were to just look at this at a more optimistic view, or this company is not doing such things, I think boycotting a player's apparel because it's made in China seems a little ridiculous when everybody's goods come from China.
Right.
What's the difference
including this phone that's buzzing right now in my pocket?
There you go. What's the difference between Li Ning and Nike? What's the difference?
I don't know.
Under Armour.
I
have Under Armour shoes on. I bet if I looked hard enough, it would say made in China.
Well, one part is Nike hasn't been banned in the United States.
I guess that's what I don't know is maybe the shops that they use are more above board than what this Li Ning is using. But this is certainly something that someone with the status of Steph Curry should be looking into first and foremost. So hopefully he's done his research on this and he's not just taking a cash grab, because he's not only a megastar, he's known as one of the better guys in the NBA.
Yes. He's like the superstar that everybody loves.
Yeah. So you would hate to see that.
Yeah. All right, last one. Ole Miss running back Kejuan Lacey, Miami wide receiver Malachi Tony, and Oregon quarterback Dante Moore will lead the cast of athletes featured on the cover of EA Sports College Football 27. Kravitz, I have no idea what I'm about to say right now because I haven't played a video game since Space Invaders or Asteroids, all right? But I'm going to make a statement today, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. More kids today, and I'm talking from, say, 8 to 14, say, are introduced to college football, soccer, you name the sport. More kids are introduced to those sports by playing sports video games than they are by actually watching the games on TV.
Well, that is beyond true.
It is?
It was true 15 years ago. You could have been saying this every year since about 2002, I think.
So they don't even know. They don't even watch the games on TV. They just play the video game.
And not only do you understand the quality of a player based on how well they play in the video game. And sometimes they get most players right. But sometimes there'll be a player who's disproportionately good in a video game compared to what he is in real life. And those players end up getting overrated by the youth because they're so good in the game.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right, those are your highlights and headlines.
That is 100% true. Up next, what would it take to get this state all in on college baseball? We'll answer that topic, that question, on the way next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
All right, let's talk about two very important words: routine maintenance, a cheat code for homeowners who want to keep their AC unit on the up and up. And if you don't have someone who provides that for you on a quarterly basis, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, let me recommend a name. It's Mills Air, available to assist you whenever you need them. Their technicians remain on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, making sure that you never need to wait until regular business hours for emergency repair. Call Leon and the crew today. Schedule your appointment and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. 407-277-1159, online at millsair.com. Call them today, and you could be their next cool customer.
There's a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane on I-4 eastbound between John Young Parkway and Orange Blossom Trail. Keep right to avoid those delays. Debris on the roadway is getting cleared up on I-4 eastbound before Dirksen Drive. Look out for road rangers in the area. Traffic's starting to slow down on all the major roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Orlando, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, right there next to Claremont. Not only can you tee off on 2 stunning championship golf courses, El Campeon and Las Colinas, but you can also play pickleball, tennis, or rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. They're beautiful. And when the day winds down, relax at the spa or dine at one of their 4 fabulous on-site restaurants. The Sunday Champagne Brunch is a feast you will thoroughly enjoy. Mission Resort is perfect for couples, families, or anyone just looking for a little escape close to home. If you just want to come over for a day of golf, book those tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. For hotel reservations and tee times, go to missionresortandclub.com. That's missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, Central Florida's hidden gem, is just waiting for you.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
This September, coming back to Las Vegas, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Tickets go on sale Friday, June 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com.
But starting June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Orlando, it's Paxton Lawrence. Orlando Pirates football, presented by Don Rico Tequila, is back home June 6th at the Kia Center facing the Iowa Barnstormers. Big plays, nonstop action, and we need Pirates fans loud. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
It's spring out here and time to get to work. Digging in, fixing up, getting things growing. At Tractor Supply, we've got what you need. From mowers, spreaders, and tillers to tools for every project. Soil, mulch, seeds and plants for the garden, plus feeding supplies for the animals you care for. With low prices every day. Dig into spring at Tractor Supply for life out here.
Get ready for the red carpet celebration of the year when Disney on Ice presents Spotlight Magic, featuring your favorite characters from Zootopia 2, Monsters, Inc., Tangled, and more. Coming to Kia Center September 4th through the 6th. Tickets on sale now. For show details, visit DisneyOnIce.com.
Listen to 96.9 The Game in your smart home. Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game on iHeart Radio. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers-only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. 4, 6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
We are Orlando's sports leader. Broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeart Radio drops anchor and goes commercial-free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s. Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
969thegame.com. Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Not a good year for college baseball in the state of Florida. It all came crashing down yesterday when first this happened in Tallahassee.
Pitch number 6 to Delamalier. Strike 3, he watches, and St. John's secures a spot in a super regional.
Boom, down goes FSU. And then this happened last night in Gainesville.
To the shortstop. Big hop for Paiseki. The throw to first. History made in Gainesville. For the first time, Troy is headed to the Super Regionals.
The Gators get eliminated. They don't just get eliminated. They get pounded 10-2 by Troy. The same Troy team, by the way, primetime Jaden Grimes, that eliminated your Miami Hurricanes earlier in that same regional. So Florida State gets ousted by freaking St. John's.
A basketball team.
Yeah. The Gators get ousted by Troy, and Miami gets ousted by Troy. And go look up Troy's record during the regular season. It's not like Troy was this powerhouse from the Sun Belt. I think they were like a 500 team or something in the Sun Belt this year. And they eliminated 2 state of Florida, quote-unquote, baseball powerhouses. So Florida, Florida State, Miami, UCF, all ousted from the regionals. I believe, if my research is correct, this is the first time since college baseball went to the current 64-team super regional format that a team from our state, the Sunshine State, has not advanced into a super regional. Usually we're hosting them.
Yeah.
But now we can't even advance into a super regional.
Troy, the 5th best team in the Sun Belt this year.
Go. There you go.
Behind the likes of Southern Miss, South Alabama, not regular Alabama, just the South one.
Not regular Mississippi, just the Southern Mississippi.
Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Like the 6th biggest school in North Carolina. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I told you my theory, and I don't know if it's correct, but I think it is. Florida produces, I looked this up, Florida produces the 2nd most college baseball talent in the country as far as high school recruits who go on to play college baseball. All right? So Florida has the 2nd most. Well, back in the good old days when the only compensation college baseball players got was a scholarship, or actually, most teams only gave half scholarships to baseball players back in the good old days, all right? So you get a half scholarship, which meant in many cases, all of that high school talent that was in Florida, hell, they couldn't afford to go anywhere else. They had to go to Florida or Florida State or UCF or USF or Miami, and they were pretty much forced to stay close to home. And plus, they were good baseball programs in the state of Florida. So why not just go to one of the state schools? But now, with NIL, everybody's paying. Troy's paying their baseball players. Florida can only pay. Florida State, Miami, they can only pay so many. So all those ones they used to have on half scholarships that were filling out their rosters, they're gone.
Yeah, and I think you've got to remember, too, baseball recruiting is so different than football and basketball, where in high school, you can kind of tell who the stars in college are going to be.
Right.
In baseball, it doesn't really work like that. Maybe here and there you'll have a guy, but for the most part, you can have players that really grow into their own when they get to college. What I would guess would be a much higher rate than those that come out of nowhere in college football and especially in college basketball. So I think that's a big part of it too, is that you're recruiting high school players who might be good, they might not be good. Maybe you overrate some guys just based on size. Everybody grows into their body. It's much more of a skill-based sport than it is an athleticism-based sport. And I think sometimes that takes more time to develop than, hey, if you're 7 feet and you can shoot and jump, you're probably going to be good in college. And it doesn't really work like that in baseball. So that's part of it. I think it's tougher to recruit. And that's where some of these players end up getting spread out. But when you look at the popularity, and there's a gap of how popular college baseball is in this state and how popular it should be, especially in this city. Here we are in Orlando, Florida, our home base, campaigning for a baseball team when, let's face it, UCF baseball, not at a fever pitch in this town or anything close to it.
Nah.
Why is that? Why is it? I think it takes an insane amount of civic pride to really back your local baseball team. We see a lot of teams that are within the schools that are within the SEC get that sort of backing. You mentioned Florida State draws pretty well.
Florida State draws really well. I think they're the number one draw in the ACC.
The teams in the Carolinas do quite well when it comes to college baseball. Mississippi State, I think, does really well for themselves.
11,000 fans per game. Mississippi State, LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss. Florida's 7th in the SEC in attendance. So I mean, Florida still draws like 6,100 a game, but still, yeah. And here's the other thing: you just mentioned Southern Mississippi. I was looking at Southern Mississippi's attendance. Okay, Southern Mississippi is averaging 5,500 fans per game. That is a big deal in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, to go to the college baseball. So maybe schools like Southern Miss are saying, hey, we can't really compete in football. We can't really compete in college basketball, but we can throw some money into our baseball program and get some, 3 or 4 top recruits.
And then it becomes it's the only show in town.
Right.
There's a lot of civic pride behind it. Now there's money behind it. And those teams will edge out those that treat baseball like it's the 3rd or 4th most important thing going on in their city. And that even happens in a place like Gainesville.
Yeah. Interesting.
Coming up next, the president of basketball operations for the Orlando Magic, Jeff Weltman, on the new hire of Sean Sweeney right here on Game On. Don't go anywhere.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, boy, am I pumped to talk to you about a Hard Rock Bet, where I have started to take the dive into some World Cup futures, looking at France to be the champion of the World Cup. Also, if you want to back the United States of America, which who doesn't? We all feel patriotic this time of year or once every 4 years, and this is as good as Team USA has been in a long, long time. How about 60-1 to win the World Cup? Not sure what to put together? You can look for their pre-built same-game parlays, check in on the Stats Hub, and tap in for daily profit boosts. We've got Stanley Cup Final Game 1 tonight, Game 1 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night, and Major League Baseball galore. A great time of year to tap in to the Hard Rock Bet app. And if you've got some friends, refer them to Hard Rock Bet as well, and you'll both score a bonus bet up to $50. That's $50 for you and $50 for them. Bet together, win together, and get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. Payable and bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833 Play wise.
Sports fans, it's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, and as you know, I've been in some big venues in my life, but let me tell you something. The showroom at Aggressive Appliances, it's the Yankee Stadium of showrooms. 2 massive galleries, live kitchens, real appliances running. You don't stroll past boxes and hope for the best. You step into the big leagues. You want to hear that dishwasher just to make sure it won't wake up the whole house at midnight? Done. Want to feel how fast that oven preheats? Done. Want to taste ice from the fridge? Done. Try doing that at a big box warehouse. At Aggressive Appliances, you work one-on-one with seasoned pros, not somebody covering the paint aisle yesterday and refrigerators today. They know what fits your remodel, your decor, and your life. And when you buy, they deliver, they install, and they service it all in-house. No third parties, no call the manufacturer, just service. Don't shop passive, shop aggressive. Check them out at aggressiveappliances.com. That's aggressiveappliances.com.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
This year, North America will be the center of the soccer universe, hosting the biggest sporting event in the world, 48 nations and 104 matches, as every player puts it on the line for their country. And BetOnline has you covered with live lines and player props from sportsbook, casino, the whole tournament. Enjoy the freedom of online gaming at BetOnline, where the action moves with you and every moment is yours. Make 26 your year. Bet on at BetOnline.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. This is incredible. Get the IDC value price you deserve. Then spread your payments over 5 years. That's $6,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $100 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring, just $200 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 0 interest all the way to 2031. Who else can do this? There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. So don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible anymore. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Booking.com has stays for absolutely anyone. For instance, imagine you're a family of interstellar beings traveling to expand your horizons. You find a hotel with out-of-this-world balcony views. Seeing is believing. There's room service so your kids can sample the planet's culinary data. It even has Earth's most sophisticated technology, the Slipper. So cozy. If curious aliens can find their perfect stay, anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com,
Yeah. I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
If a baby is giggling in the back seat, they're probably happy. If a baby is crying in the back seat, they're probably hungry. But if a baby is sleeping in the back seat, will you remember they're even there? When you're distracted, stressed, or not usually the one who drives them, the chances of forgetting them in the back seat are much higher. It can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot fast and can be deadly. So get in the habit of checking the back seat when you leave. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Showers and storms ignite through the remainder of our Tuesday thanks to a cold front swinging through central Florida. Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist TJ Springer. A couple of those storms could pack a bit of a punch with some gusty wind and torrential rain, as well as frequent lightning. We have a storm team alert, so if you are getting out, be prepared for some slowdowns on the roadways. These storms linger through the overnight, becoming a little more hit or miss in nature, with temperatures falling back into the lower 70s. Then for our Wednesday, still could see a few showers and thunderstorms, but the clouds linger. The bigger story will be the cooler and less humid air that starts to filter in. Highs look to only top out in the low to mid 80s. From the Fox 35 Storm Center, I'm meteorologist TJ Springer.
eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for or the foul ball you heroically gave away. It's all there on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game.
This is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic. They say it pays to listen to Game On. How much are we talking? Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
The Orlando Magic have finalized the deal to bring in San Antonio Spurs associate head coach Sean Sweeney to be the team's new head coach. The man who inked the deal on the other side, Jeff Weltman, president of basketball operations, joins the show right now. Jeff, welcome to the show. When did you know that Sweeney was the man for the job?
Well, we went through a process with a few great candidates. And, Sean was really impressive in our meeting with him and had a subsequent follow-up and kind of moved pretty quickly on it. So it wasn't too much before we announced it or it got out that we kind of had made our decision.
Is that somebody that you're scouting before you ever have a conversation with them? Do you know which coaches you have on your radar before you get fully into the process?
Yeah, it's hard to scout assistant coaches. If you can figure out a process for that, I'd like to know. But for sure, there are always like a next wave of young talent in all the league, and scouting and coaching and playing, obviously. And so we're always trying to be aware of who that next wave is, like where they're coming from, and to familiarize ourselves with them from afar.
Is it difficult having those conversations while he's in the midst of a pretty epic playoff run? I would think the windows are pretty small.
Yeah, honestly, I've never been through anything like this. And I have to say, huge thanks to the San Antonio organization, because they, really wanted to let Sean have every opportunity that he could to pursue a job that he really wanted. And so they were really amenable, but we had to, work on off days and kind of, just make it work the best way that we could. It wasn't optimum, but obviously we made it work, and, they were very cooperative because they didn't want to hold Sean back.
Jeff, I'll ask you a question. I know you won't answer first, but I'll ask it anyways.
Well, I asked it, Mike.
Was Billy Donovan and Jeff Van Gundy, were they interviewed and were they given serious consideration?
Yeah, I don't want to get into all of the, candidates that we had. Some were, publicly aired out, and maybe others that we, were not. But, have the ultimate respect for both of those guys. I think that, when you go down a process like this, it's not like there's a right answer and a wrong answer. I mean, you're talking about, I always say this, and I think sometimes it can sound like cliche, but it really isn't. This league is about timing and fit. And, for us, like, we met with a lot of interesting guys and brilliant coaches and, well-established people. And at the end of the day, Sean just really impressed us, and we felt that the timing and the fit for our team and where he was on his arc was like a perfect time to, join forces.
Jeff, you mentioned in your opening to us that the meeting with him was so impressive, and it's been reported that he, quote unquote, blew you away during the interview process. What was so impressive about him?
Well, obviously we'll have to wait for, the finals to finish and, before we can get Sean out here. But I'm really, excited about our fans getting, an up close look at him, and we'll get him out as soon as we can. And I know he's eager to finish his season the right way with San Antonio and then join us. But I think like the first thing that you notice with Sean is he has like a natural intensity about him. It's not something that he has to try to put on or impress you with. It's just there. He's very locked in. His focus and his intensity, I think, kind of like underlies a lot of the way he delivers information, the way he receives information. And beyond that, as a basketball coach, man, his recognition, his instant, we watched video and we talked about players and games and teams and his ability to kind of break the game down into small doses that are teachable, that are measurable, that are, through that, you can kind of, create a through line with players and teams and really, Mike, I would say create a program, more than just like, do you win tonight? Are you developing a program where you can really like measure and help define like what it is to be a Magic player, and that makes all of our lives easier. And I think Sean has the capability to, do a lot of those things. Obviously he comes in as a rookie, but he's got a lot of experience within his own, set of circumstances. Obviously associate head coach of a team that's playing in the finals right now. And I think like he has a ton of potential.
Jeff, there was the thought out there, and obviously you didn't say this, but there was the thought out there that, hey, the Magic's offense is what was broken. And yet you hired a quote unquote defensive minded coach. Can you address that thought or concern?
Well, I really appreciate you saying that. I didn't say that because, I feel like that's a cliche. I feel like that there are so many boxes that we put people into, and coaches and teams and players, and the game is it's not that. That's not what the NBA is about. And so, look, man, like a lot of NBA teams run the same stuff. Let's be honest, and it comes down to talent and it comes down to execution. Like, can you really execute it? And so I think that's why everybody wants to play so fast. The goal of an NBA team is to get the ball up the court in a hurry so that you can, at the very least, get a cross match. You can get a guard being guarded by a big or vice versa. If you can't get numbers, you at least get that. And you do that so that you can generate a closeout so that you can start getting the defense into rotation, and then you play basketball, right? That's like in a nutshell what NBA offense is these days. So what it really comes down to largely is like, can you execute? And I'll come back to breaking the game down into small doses that are teachable, that are measurable, and activating all five players was something that Sean was really big about. And so, I do think that it's been written that he has like a modern approach. I don't know where that word came from, but I do believe that to be the case. And, he's a coach. He's going to coach players at both ends of the floor. He's going to surround himself by really, with really bright, creative minds. And I think our guys will get better and our team will get better. And I think we will establish kind of a program that allows us to, continue to grow. Because at the end of the day, we're still a very young team.
Talking to President of Basketball Operations for the Orlando Magic, Jeff Weltman. This is one of the reasons we like bringing you on, is you teach us about how to analyze an NBA coach. And that is one of the things that I think we struggle with. It's definitely something that fans struggle with as they obsess over things like timeouts and rotations and all of these different things throughout the regular season. You mentioned how every coach is kind of running the same thing. Then how does somebody like Sean Sweeney get slapped with a tag of defensive mastermind if everybody's doing something similar? What is it tactically that you think he does that might be slightly better than what other NBA coaches are doing out there? And how can he bring that here?
No, that's a great question. Without getting like too weedy on it, like we talked about it for a half hour, but I do think that, like all these things are measurable. And I do think that, where a lot of NBA teams are different, I think it's probably more the defensive end than the offensive end. It's kind of maybe a little bit of like a paradox to say that, but in a way, I think like a lot of creativity gets expressed more on the defensive end than the offensive end in a way. And I think that obviously Sean's been a part of great defensive teams. Look, Sean's been an offensive coach too, so I don't know how like those tags get slapped on people as you put it, Brandon. But like, a lot of it comes down to basic principles and the teaching the game in a way that the players have to adhere to, And so I think he's had success doing that in the places that he's been. Obviously, he's never done it from the number one seat. That'll be a new experience for him. But again, when you put together the ingredients of those things that we talked about, plus his natural intensity and his integrity and his character and his work ethic, he is relentless. I think that those ingredients are kind of what you hope for could lead to being a real special coach.
Hey, I don't care how these tags come about, Jeff. I want to be tagged the mastermind of any kind.
Yeah,
okay, that would be defensive.
I'm with you, Mike.
I'll tell you what, Jeff. If the Sweeney hire works out, I think it might just happen for you. Okay, your stone's thrown away. I don't know about Bianchi, but I've been reading a lot about the fiery side of Sean Sweeney. Do you think that this team needs some of that now that they're older, they're more mature, more seasoned, been to the playoffs a couple of times? Somebody that's going to raise the temperature in the room to challenge guys when they aren't competing at the highest level, if that does happen through the lulls of the regular season. Is that part of the reason why you brought in Sean Sweeney?
I'll say this, like Sean is a very intense guy. I won't use the word fiery because I think fiery can be, kind of can work for you and against you. But I do think Sean is like really intense, and he's very strong-willed, and he's very focused. And I do believe, nothing new here, that, teams generally take on the personality of their coach. So hopefully that gets baked into the everyday work that you do. It gets baked into, your off days, your travel days, like, the personality that you carry with you to show up at the office every day, And so that, it starts off the court, it translates on the court, it carries through the whole season. And also, look, our fans, they know our players. So, to have a team, you need there's no extremes. You can't live in the extremes. You need a little bit of everything, right? And like, they know that like some of the guys that provide that, intensity for us, like, they were out this year a lot, And so, yeah, like I think that I think we actually have a pretty good balance of the ingredients that it takes to win. Not to say that we don't need to get better. And obviously, my guys and I are busy right now and kind of looking at 3 weeks from now at draft and everything. But yeah, like I think that for sure Sean has that intensity, and I do think that like as he bakes that into the way that we work, it will show up. And like I said, I don't know if it's. I think it will be day one, but I think it'll grow and grow for a long time.
So now that the head coach has been hired, what is next? You mentioned the draft, but no first round pick this year. Yeah. So the main focus, I would think, is free agency. Is it trade? What should Magic fans expect coming up this offseason?
Well, that's always the great unknown. But you're right. We do not have a first round pick. We do not have a lot of money to spend. We do have, free agency issues in front of us. And I've always said, like, this kind of train is coming at us, and like this is, it's getting closer. So we're going to have some hard decisions to make. So we'll have to connect with other teams and kind of see how they look at our team and how they value our players. I know that, like one GM today just told me, you guys have a lot more good young players than most teams, so we'll always have interest in talking to you. But like what that actually translates to, I really don't know. But we'll go through the process, and obviously the first part of that is the draft. July is free agency, and then after that, our extension windows, leading up to opening day. But honestly, we like our team, and I think we've had this discussion before. We were a game away, and you could say an injury away from, maybe being into the second round, and who knows from there. Obviously, it had been said several times throughout the season, the East is wide open. I think the East is highly competitive, and these are really good teams. And I think, it's going to be a really fun series for all of us to watch. But, we like our team. I don't feel like there's a gun to our head to, make these dramatic overhauls. But that being said, we've kind of shown that, if it's the right situation is there to be aggressive, we will. And we also know that we're going to, have some hard choices coming at us in the next year. So, we'll have conversations about, getting ahead of those conversations too, but I don't know what that means. We'll have to see.
Jeff, real quick, last one. When you hear like Wemby talk about Sean Sweeney and Giannis talk about Sean Sweeney and Luka talk about Sean Sweeney, does that go into the hiring process at all? And how do you feel about? I mean, obviously, those are three huge stars, and they love Sean Sweeney.
Well, when you say does that go into the hiring process, I think it's always great that you try to do as much homework as you can and get as much background on who says what about the guys that he's touched. So that could be like, we talk to staff and management and coaches, and for sure, obviously, most importantly, players. And when you have players of that magnitude, going to bat for a guy, you can't ignore that. I don't think that's, that's an ingredient. That's part of the puzzle of what you put together of like, who is Sean Sweeney? Who's going to respond well to Sean Sweeney? Can he, get through to all sorts of players at all different levels? Because you have to be able to coach the whole team, but it sure is encouraging when you have guys like that, especially some of the comments that they've said, like, hey, this guy's, he's the one that taught me how to be this competitor, and those fundamental things that make players great. That's where I think, you get excited about having a guy like Sean in your program,
Jeff Weltman, president of basketball operations for the Orlando Magic. Congratulations on the new hire. We look forward to getting to know Sean Sweeney well after, hopefully, an NBA championship for the new Magic head coach. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, a little robot action there at the end, but always a good chat with Jeff Weltman.
I want to be a mastermind.
Well, what can Bianchi be a mastermind in? Text 50857. More Game On after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be back right after this.
As somebody who talks about preparation every day in sports, I can tell you the same thing applies to protecting your home. That's one of the reasons I recently had a Burton Smart Home and security system installed at my house. When it comes to protecting my home and my loved ones, I want the best. I want a mastermind. I want a local company, not one of these national chains where you're talking to somebody 5 states away about what's happening in Central Florida. And I definitely wasn't going to go the do-it-yourself route. My family's safety is much too important for that. I want pros handling the installation and monitoring, not amateurs. Burton has more than 25 years of experience. They're state licensed, they're locally owned and operated, and they customize every system to fit your home. Plus, I can monitor my cameras, control my locks, and manage my security system right from my iPhone. The result, greater peace of mind for me and my family. Right now, you can get a free doorbell camera with their video package. Give them a call. 407-349-4040, or visit bshsecurity.com. Tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you license number EF200001584 because the best defense starts long before game day.
Accident blocking the left lane, 429 northbound before New Parkway. There's a crash blocking 3 left lanes. I-4 eastbound at the beach line. Crash blocking the shoulder, I-4 eastbound before Florida's Turnpike. And another accident blocking the left shoulder, I-4 westbound at Darrell Carter. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
Everyone's home through the summer, so let's not do anything illegal. But if you do, Trey Flynn is there by your side. I'm talking DUI, serious felony. His expertise in the courtroom and record speaks for itself. Trey Flynn is unlike many in the industry. Compassion for those who have made life-altering mistakes, especially during these summer months. Your free case evaluation is just a click or a phone call away. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
This report is sponsored by OUC. With OUC rebates, you can upgrade your home with energy or water-saving improvements and get money back. From AC systems to irrigation updates, long-term savings start here. Don't just go green, get green. Visit OUC.com/getgreen.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to win tickets to see the 2026 FIFA World Cup courtesy of Michelob Ultra in Miami? Just log on to 969thegame.com and search on events to find out how. That's 969thegame.com. Don't miss your chance to be part of the biggest soccer event in the world. Enter today.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Scott Hinchelwood, a director at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, talks about the power of live events.
We've been working with iHeart now going back to your beginning, and we have over 60 iHeart station partners out there telling our story, and it really helps drive that St. Jude mission home and share our patients and share our mission.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live events, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Spring has sprung and the bugs are out. That doesn't mean that you have to let them take over your domain. Call the pros at Burn Pest. Joe and his team have been doing this for years. And unlike the big box chains, they're not interested in you spending as much money as possible on every single visit. Burn Pest wants your business for a lifetime. They're a trusted source in this community, helping with a pesky problem. So if bugs are starting to become a problem, call Burn Pest Control, where the bug stops here.
Kick off the summer with a stress-free way to sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Hi, this is Mark Spain. The guaranteed offer is the simplest way to sell your home. With our guaranteed offer, you're always in control. You can eliminate all the hassle, sell your home for top dollar, and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie deals. At $4, $6, and $8, pick one of the new Biggie deals you're craving. For a pretty Biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
iHeartRadio wants you to see Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson live on their co-headlining tour, and you pick the city. We'll handle everything, and you'll meet Rob Zombie. Just tap the contest tab when listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app to enter. Tickets at livenation.com.
For over 40 years, Gomez Plumbing has built a reputation for reliable service and honest workmanship. Whether it's a simple repair, a leaky faucet, clogged drain, or a complete whole home remodel or new construction, no project is too big or too small. My wife and I asked the Facebook page in the community that we live in for some suggestions for a good plumber when we moved out to Longwood, and the first and most frequent name that popped up was Gomez Plumbing, and boy was my community right. Very few things as reassuring as a homeowner than having a plumber that you can count on. But they don't just service my area, they service yours as well. From everyday plumbing fixes to major renovations, the experienced team at Gomez Plumbing is ready to get the job done right the first time. And when you call, Haley or Kimmy are going to be there to help, making sure that you have all of your needs met with friendly, personal service every step of the way. Choose the name that Central Florida has trusted for generations. Schedule your next service with Gomez Plumbing and let that stress wash away.
Ready for the ultimate summer festival experience happening on the Space Coast. Merritt Island Fest is back this weekend at the Merritt Island Veterans Amphitheater. Saturday night, enjoy the reggae, jazz, and R&B fusion sounds of Article Sound System. Then Sunday, the legendary Inner Circle takes the stage. Plus live music, food, vendors, a surf expo, arts and crafts, and so much more. 2 nights, one unforgettable festival this weekend. Get your tickets and info at MerrittIslandFest.com. That's MerrittIslandFest.com. Don't miss it. Space Coast, this summer's going to be good.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station.
Yeah,
guaranteed human. To Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Special thanks to Jeff Weltman, president of basketball operations for the Orlando Magic, for giving us some of his time. As Bianchi and I often say, the most accessible front office in the entire city when it comes to professional sports teams, the Orlando Magic. And we appreciate that because I think it's important, whether you love them or you hate them, it's important that we're able to talk to these individuals after they make big decisions that affect the teams that you all obsess over. Very important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We are, as Bianchi often says, the conduit to the sports fan. So we try and deliver that to you. I have a few seconds to explain to you the most pathetic injury in the history of mankind that has taken place on my face. You can't see it because my wife put makeup on my nose because I had so much podcast video recording to do today. I have a massive bruise in the middle of my nose. Huge.
You ran into something.
No. I put nasal strips on my nose last night because I've been snoring so much. And when I ripped it off, it broke blood vessels in my nose. God. You couldn't even guess how pathetic the injury was. That's how bad it is. I can't believe this is actually real.
So those things that open up.
Oh, yeah. No, you can ask me more about it. We're back in 60 seconds.
Buy it, sell it. Call it like it is. It's Bianchi Stocks.
The adhesive was so strong. I bought the store brand nasal strip.
Right.
Because I'm not going to pay up. The difference in price between the store brand Target nasal strips and whatever the top brand is, it was about an $8 difference.
What is that top brand called? I used to wear those back in the day.
And it works, but it's you can feel it while you're trying to fall asleep. But the glue that they put on that. Anyway, so I take it off middle of the night.
Breathe right.
Breathe right.
Yeah.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I just peel it off of my nose, and unbeknownst to me, until the morning.
So your nose started bleeding?
It didn't. No, it's like internal bleeding. It wasn't out. It wasn't. I didn't break skin.
So it's just like dark.
It looks like I got punched in the nose. That's what it looks like.
Let's get to the genesis of the matter. Did wifey make you wear those because you're snoring too loudly?
She suggested it. Yeah, and now I'm in a pickle because they worked. I wasn't snoring last night, but now I got a big bruise on my nose. It looks like I got in a fight at the bar.
Well, for Father's Day, maybe she can get you a case of the good ones. Breathe right. Without the cheap glue on them.
Maybe I could just get one of those big sleep apnea machines.
Yeah.
How do we like that? All right, it's time for Bianchi's Stocks. Let's hit the market. It's time to put the bull and bulldog. Time for Bianchi's Stocks. Let's start with World Cup action. Starts here in a week in North America. I'm going to safely assume that we are buying stock right now in the sport of soccer and its popularity in the United States of America.
Oh, yeah, buy. I mean, there is a huge difference in the World Cup being held now in the United States and back in 1994 when it was held in the United States. And when Orlando, by the way, hosted the very first World Cup match in the United States back in 1994. Back then, heck, I wasn't in Orlando at the time, but I do remember the World Cup and it was somewhat big, but not like it's going to be now. I mean, now we have a major professional league in this country, Major League Soccer, which I don't even think was around back in 1994. So we have a major league here, and the American team actually has a shot. I don't know if they have a shot to win it, but they have a shot like to get deep into this tournament, the quarterfinals.
Yeah, make a little bit of noise.
So
stage of 16, something like that.
And plus, what else is going to be? The NBA finals will be over by then. What else is there?
Last year we had the Olympics. This year we have the World Cup. Right. We are getting spoiled with summer sporting events that lead us into football season.
Yeah, buy stock in American soccer.
Yeah, it's never been more of a global sport, which includes us, than it is right now. Always been a global sport, but it's typically eluded the United States fans. We have Wemby versus the Knicks, a dream scenario for the league. I think I know where we're going with this, but should we be buying stock in this being the highest rated NBA Finals of all time?
Oh, sell. That's ridiculous. Sell. No, it might be the highest rated since I think it was 11 years ago when LeBron and the Cavs played Steph and the Warriors. I think that was 11 years ago. And that was, if I recall, one of the highest rated series.
2017, 20.3 million viewers, one of the highest rated that we've seen ever.
Yeah, I think it could be the highest rated since then. And maybe what's the highest rated of all time?
1998, the final year of Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls, taking on the Utah Jazz for a second straight finals, drawing 35 million viewers.
Sell.
Sell. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to top Michael Jordan in the back end of his prime. I know everyone's jacked up about the Rams because their roster is loaded. They've added Myles Garrett now, but the Browns have a treasure chest of picks. Don't sleep on Jared Verse. He's a really good defensive lineman. So they've got a good defensive lineman, young, that can replace Myles Garrett. They now have a first, a second, and a third to add to the case of picks that they were already sitting on. Should we be buying stock in, not this year, but the future of the Cleveland Browns? A nice buy low stock opportunity.
Sell.
Come on.
Sell. It's the Browns. Their owner, Haslam, is a buffoon. All right. He's obviously a rich guy. He knows how to make money, but he doesn't know how to run a football team. This is the guy, same guy who gave the fully guaranteed contract, the only one in NFL history, mind you, to Deshaun Watson as he's coming off the massage therapist scandal. All right. So, no, the Browns will figure out, and they still don't have a quarterback of the future. I mean, you could Shedeur Sanders, give me a break. He's not their quarterback of the future. Now, they can go draft one this next season.
Exactly.
But
future, that's what I'm saying. They're building a nice little roster. Yeah. Andrew Berry, their GM, seems to be one of the sharper guys around.
Sell.
Yeah.
Sell.
I think we should be buying Brown stock.
Okay.
I say,
right ahead.
Ready, bold. This is my bold prediction. Browns in the Super Bowl before 2030. Yep.
Okay.
How about that? Stanley Cup starts tonight. Las Vegas needed just 16 games.
In the Super Bowl before 2030. Is that what you've been relegated to? Hot takes, like put that on Grade to Take and see what you get on that.
No. I know. I got better stuff cooked up for Grade to Take than that. Stanley Cup starts tonight. Las Vegas needed just 16 games to get past their last three opponents in their quest towards Lord Stanley's Cup. Should we buy stock in another short series? Carolina and Vegas, not going long.
No, I would sell that. I would sell that. Even though what Vegas did to the Avalanche to sweep the number one seeded team in the entire league, to sweep them in the playoffs was impressive. But Carolina has been equally impressive throughout the playoffs. And that's you want to talk about you're just mentioning the Browns. You want to talk about a well-run organization. The Carolina Hurricanes are a well-run hockey organization. They're traditionally good. They're not from a traditional hockey market. Their owner, you know who the owner is, right?
Of Vegas?
Yeah. No. Carolina.
Oh, Tom Dundon.
Tom Dundon, the same guy who's trying to get the Portland Trailblazers to cut costs, okay? This guy knows how to run an organization. Watch out for the Carolina Hurricanes.
I bet Tom Dundon gets the store brand nasal strip.
Damn right
he goes to sleep at night. By the way, Vegas is plus 130 to win the series against Carolina. I know nothing, but I might bet some Las Vegas. Boy, they've looked.
So you bet 100 and you win 130. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We spoke briefly yesterday.
Did you say America's the 60-1 shot in the World Cup?
Yeah.
I might put a little action on.
Well, action mean like $2?
Yeah. 10?
$2 wins $180.
Bet
Wait,
10,
$120.
Bet 10, you win $600, right?
Yeah. That's a nice waste of $10.
Right.
We spoke briefly yesterday about the cover of the Madden game. Well, the new NCAA college football video game cover has been leaked as well. The deluxe edition has Kurt Signetti on the cover with about 7 or 8 players. Yes, Jaden's Malachi Toney is one of them. Should we buy stock in Indiana not being a flash in the pan? Their head coach is on the cover of a video game. Who does this guy think he is? John Madden?
Yeah, I'm buying stock. I'll buy stock in Kurt Signetti. That guy is a hell of a coach. He has some sort of system. His players buy into the system.
So you don't think this is just we got the right team? Fernando Mendoza was the top pick. You would buy stock. Let me be clear about what you're buying stock in. that Indiana is going to be a perennial top 10 team for the next several years until Cignetti ages out. You would buy stock in that.
Perennial top 10?
Title contender, top 10, like the way that we talk about Michigan doesn't win every year.
I would buy stock in them, them being a perennial playoff contender. Not saying they're going to make it every year, but I think they're going to be right on the cusp. And if it goes to a 2014 playoff,
that's a lot less impressive.
Okay, but still, yeah, I'll buy stock in it. I'll buy stock in Indiana being right up there with Ohio State and Michigan to win the Big Ten.
But it feels like it could be a flash in the pan, but he's a hell of a coach.
And plus, they have Mark Cuban funding the.
I would just like to see. I haven't looked into this yet. What they've been doing in the transfer portal. What is the next wave? Has the championship for Indiana brought in a new wave of talent?
I don't know. I know LSU had.
I've been seeing a ton of LSU.
Right.
I haven't been seeing a lot of.
I don't know. I have to do my research on that.
Is anyone flocking to Indiana? Last one. Global coffee consumption is on the rise. Nearly 66% of households in America drink coffee daily. Have we reached the peak of the market? Is it time to sell coffee stock? Think about it. I think it can't get higher than this.
No. Buy.
Let me teach you how stocks work.
I know how stocks work, but say that to NVIDIA. That stock keeps going up. Micron stock keeps going up.
I doubled down on CrowdStrike, by the way.
Oh, yep. CrowdStrike has been just unbelievable. All right, killing it. So here's the thing about coffee. You told me, you brought this up a couple weeks ago. The young people of today drinking less and less alcohol. But you know what they're filling the void with? Coffee, caffeine. So they're getting high on caffeine, and boom, they're going to keep getting high on caffeine. There's going to be more and more of these youngsters, getting where they can afford coffee at Starbucks. So buy coffee stock.
Yep. If you're not buying whiskey and vodka at the bar, you definitely afford that $6 latte. That is Bianchi's stocks. Up next, we rage. We're getting really fired up about something. What is it? You'll find out. Coming up right here on Game On after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. Baseball fans love a strong closer, and when storm season hits Florida, you need a strong closer protecting your home, too. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are built for the big leagues when it comes to defending your home against Florida's toughest weather. I mean, good Lord, we know what Florida summers are like, right? It is in the heat, the humidity, the howling winds. It's unbelievable how your home needs protection. And again, Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are designed to handle all of that. The high winds, the flying debris, and the relentless humidity while keeping your family safe and comfortable. They're also energy efficient, which means your AC doesn't have to work overtime during these scorching Florida summers. And unlike traditional vinyl windows, Renewal by Anderson's Fibrex material is built to last without warping or cracking over time. Right now, they're offering a major storm season savings event. Buy one window or door, get the next one 40% off, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% financing for 1 full year. Upgrade your home before the next storm warning hits and enjoy peace of mind all season long. Restrictions apply, so whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com. That's bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets quality.
The accident on I-4 eastbound at the beach line now has 2 left lanes blocked. Expect heavy delays in that area. I-4 westbound at Darrell Carter, there's a crash there blocking the shoulder. Slow ride I-4 westbound between Princeton Street and Colonial Drive, also tapping the brakes between 192 and 535 on I-4 eastbound. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
The NBA Finals are here. The pressure is higher. The stars shine brighter, and every play feels like it could define an entire season. And you know what I like to do every game day? I like to shoot my shot by building a same-game parlay over on Hard Rock Bet. Maybe you like the hot hand to drop 30, the big man to control the glass with a double-double, the point guard to dish out 5 assists, however you draw it up. Hard Rock Bet gives you a ton of ways to stack your NBA playoff picks into an epic same-game parlay. And the best part is, everyone's invited to the party. It doesn't matter who you are, your name is on the list. Sign up with Hard Rock Bet today. Bet $5 on any game, and if it wins, you can also score $150 in bonus bets. A winning bet plus an extra $150 to bet with. Now that's how you get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. Payable and bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY WISE.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. Rev up Father's Day gift giving at summitracing.com. You'll find unique gifts, parts, tools, accessories, and more. Or give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Shop summitracing.com, plus enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
This September, coming back to Las Vegas, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Tickets go on sale Friday, June 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com.
But starting June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho! You think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí. Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Soccer's biggest tournament and biggest stars are coming to Florida this summer. And the place to bet it all is on Hard Rock Bet. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready for the ultimate freestyle experience. Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. Full Send Family Fun. Coming to Kia Center August 8th and 9th. Brought to you by BKD Tires, your local Ford dealers, and Morgan & Morgan. Visit monsterjam.com today.
For Michelle?
Yes, thanks. Uber's in-app audio recording feature is there for a little extra peace of mind on your ride. You can turn it on in your safety preferences on Uber, so it records every trip or only the ones you choose. With in-app audio recording, you can have a bit more reassurance knowing you're covered in case anything unexpected happens on any ride you take.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. In-app audio recording. One more way Uber is putting safety at every turn. Learn more on the Uber app.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando. I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
It's the French Open, where every point is a battle on clay. I'd know. I competed there for decades.
Join me, Renee Stubbs, on the Renee Stubbs Tennis Podcast for no-nonsense breakdowns of the biggest matches, the toughest players, and the moments that define Roland Garros.
Listen, Elena Rybakina is arguably the best player in the world right now, and I actually
No
can
doubt.
win on any surface.
Search the Renee Stubbs Tennis Podcast on iHeart Radio, America's #1 podcast network and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
Presented by Capital One, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
969thegame.com. Guys, let's be honest. When your energy drops, your focus fades, and your performance slips, it doesn't just affect one part of your life. It hits everything. Your workouts, your work, your confidence, and yes, your relationship. That's why I trust Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. This isn't a pill mill or a testosterone drive-through. It's a full-service medical practice helping men optimize everything: hormones, blood flow, recovery, sexual performance, even weight loss. Dr. John Carrazella, a Yale-trained expert with decades of medical experience, leads the team. They'll find what's off, fix it safely, and get you performing at your best again in the gym, at work, and yes, in the bedroom. Mention my name and get $50 off a new patient consultation or 10% off any service or product. It's time to reclaim your strength and confidence and get your edge back. Visit hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you. That's hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
It is time to step into the Rage Cage. You can be part of the action as well. Your chance to win Caribe Royale boxing tickets just by tapping that microphone icon on the top of the iHeart Radio app. Your invite to rant and rave towards us. Anything that we've discussed on today's show. Maybe you want to...
If you have any guts, you'll get in the Rage Cage.
Yeah. For gumption.
Yeah.
Here. Jeff Weltman's interview, maybe you didn't like it. Maybe you want to tell us about it. We would love to hear that. There were 3 players ejected over the weekend in Major League Baseball for a standoff during the or after the national anthem. This was something that the Rays and the Angels, the children that play for that team, took part in. I don't mean to be...
I missed this.
So it was a small, minor, off the beaten path story, but I don't mean to be the fun police here. Mm-hmm. This was at Tropicana Field this past weekend. There were 4 players, 2 on each team, that were all standing for the national anthem. Everybody was. Mm-hmm. And then when the national anthem ends, everybody goes back to the dugout and the umpire says, "Play ball." And then they play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a pair of players who were not playing in that day's game for the Angels and the Rays did what is called a standoff. I'd never heard of this before. I guess this happens where it's almost like a game of chicken. They stand there with their hand over their heart and they don't move. And they wait for the other to go into the dugout first. If you're having a hard time understanding why anyone would do this, there isn't a good reason. This is just childish behavior.
So they're not trying to be overly patriotic.
It has nothing to do with patriotism.
Okay.
This is zero. It's not anti-patriotism. It's not pro-patriotism. This is just
like
silliness. Just silliness for the sake of silliness to get through the trudgery of a 162-game season.
Okay.
They all got ejected from the game because they couldn't start until those players left the sideline and went into the dugout. So the umpire had to eject all of them, even though they weren't taking part in the game. Just the height of useless silliness delaying the start of a baseball game.
Good Lord. Grow up. These are professional baseball
That's
players.
what I'm saying. This is funny in high school, and I know it's like, oh, let the guys have fun.
Yeah.
That's only fun. I'm not anti-fun. I'm anti-fun when there's only 4 people in the whole stadium having fun. Now, who else thinks this is entertaining other than the people involved? So it's stupid. And that happened over the weekend.
So what's your hot take?
That was it. I was just ranting. It made me rage-filled.
Oh, okay.
There was no hot take.
So
it was just that was childish behavior.
So there's no grade to take there.
That's not grade. There's no. That's not today. That's not what we're doing right now.
We're not doing grade to take. We're grading the take.
Okay, next rage. I put a rundown together every day for us three. It would be nice if someone read it. Okay,
I read it.
Nowhere on the rundown that has been available to the three people on the show all day.
I copied and pasted it. For some reason. Oh,
it says
Rage Cage.
418,
Yeah,
427, which is 30 seconds away. Rage.
All right. Well, I've got a hot take. I'm going grade to take with my little. I'm going grade to take here.
You're getting an F. I don't care what it is.
So Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby has been ruled ineligible by the NCAA. He's fighting that in court right now. Well, did you see what happened today? Cleveland Browns coach Todd Monken said it would be, quote, a slippery slope to draft Brendan Sorsby, who, Kravitz, you're a draftnik. Isn't he supposed to be one of the top quarterbacks coming out in the draft?
Top 3.
So, slippery slope. Here's my take. All right?
Okay. All right, go ahead.
My take. This is a catch can segment right here. You had your rage cage. I'm doing grade to take. All right. Sorsby is done playing college football. He won't play in the NFL because they are really careful about gambling. All right. Brendan Sorsby's next competitive football game will be either with the Orlando Storm or the Orlando Pirates. Boom.
Bet it.
A+.
Bet it.
A+.
Wait, are we not doing bet it or forget it right now? I'm sorry. I'm
I wake up in the morning, I piss actually.
Yeah, A+. Bet it. Bye. What are we doing again? Hello? Is this thing on? I forgot where I was.
I need to pay more attention to the rundown.
Coming up next. Mike, you want to tell them what's coming up next? I'm sure that you know.
I do know what's going up next. Mike Giannetti's coming up.
The dollars behind the deals. Myles Garrett, A.J. Brown on the move. We're talking about that on the way next. Hello?
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Every great team has a detailed playbook. You've got a game plan for your job, for your schedule, for your kids, for your summer vacation. But do you actually have a playbook for your retirement planning, all right? Your income in retirement. That's what Trajan Wealth helped me build. Not just picking stocks or funds. I'm talking about a real plan. Income in retirement, tax strategies, when to take Social Security, estate planning, all of it working together. What I liked most was they explained everything in plain English. Never felt like I was being talked down to, and I never felt like I was being sold something I didn't really need. I'm a client now, and I'll tell you, having a real plan just helps you sleep better at night because you actually know where you stand financially. So I want you to give Trajan Wealth a call today. They've got a new number. Write it down, 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1. Tell them Mike Bianchi sent you, or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN-Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Spring has sprung and the bugs are out. That doesn't mean that you have to let them take over your domain. Call the pros at Burn Pest. Joe and his team have been doing this for years. And unlike the big box chains, they're not interested in you spending as much money as possible on every single visit. Burn Pest wants your business for a lifetime. They're a trusted source in this community, helping with a pesky problem. So if bugs are starting to become a problem, call Burn Pest Control, where the bug stops here.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. This is incredible. Get the IDC value price you deserve. Then spread your payments over 5 years. That's $6,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $100 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring, just $200 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 0 interest all the way to 2031. Who else can do this? There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. So don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible anymore. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Host an event they'll never forget at Crush Yard. Designed for group gatherings of all kinds, Crush Yard makes it easy to bring people together for team events, birthday parties, and milestone celebrations. With pickleball courts, great food and drinks, and flexible space to play or relax, everything comes together in one place. We handle the details so you can focus on your guests and enjoy the moment. It's an interactive, high-energy experience everyone will remember. Learn more at CrushYard.com.
Kick off the summer with a stress-free way to sell your home with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You'll save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle. Hi, this is Mark Spain. The guaranteed offer is the simplest way to sell your home. With our guaranteed offer, you're always in control. You can eliminate all the hassle, sell your home for top dollar, and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. One of our clients, Selena, said, Mark Spain Real Estate was phenomenal. Prior to working with Mark Spain Real Estate, my house had been on the market for over 3 months with no success. After I met with Mark Spain Real Estate, they completely turned things around for me. I closed on the sale quickly, just as they promised. Mark Spain Real Estate is the #1 most reviewed real estate company in the U.S. with over 13,000 5-star reviews. Trust us to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
I need a little ranch. There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club, available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
There's nothing quite like a new experience with friends. And when people ask me, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I feel like I'm always stuck in this trap where I come up with the same 5 ideas over and over again. Well, Bananas X Cabana offers something a little bit different, something unique, but extra social for you, your friends, your coworkers. It's a great date night spot. Bananas X Cabana in Lake Buena Vista is the perfect location to just simply unwind after working as hard as you do throughout the course of the week. Go and book with them today. It's Bananas X Cabana.
The Storm will be closer to home for their UFL playoff game. That'll be played at Bethune-Cookman's Daytona Stadium after originally being set for Columbus, Ohio. Florida football, they added another recruit to their 27 class today. They got a commitment from 4-star offensive tackle Kennedy Jackson. And NBA star Steph Curry has a new endorsement deal with Chinese shoemaker Lai Ning, expanding his Curry brand venture globally. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com. Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeart Radio app. He's the Sultan of Salary, our very own sports financial guru. When athletes get paid, he's our go-to guy. He's Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com.
Mike Giannetti, our go-to sports financial expert, the best in the business. You can find his work over at SpotTrack.com and check out the SpotTrack podcast weekly for full breakdowns of everything going on in the sports world. Mike, the NFL is the gift that keeps on giving. You should send a tip to the league office.
Certainly a busy couple of days here and literally breaking news as we're speaking here with a couple more extensions. So it's just a continuous cycle, as you know, 365-24 in this league.
Okay, so break it down for us. What's the latest that has hit the news wire?
Yeah, it's just, the usual. We've got a nice little $100 million extension for Nick Herbig in Pittsburgh, and Patrick Surtain gets a little pot sweetener in Denver because he's already on a deprecated contract in this cornerback market. So it's just, never ending.
Myles Garrett sent to the Rams in exchange for Jared Verse and some valuable draft capital. How are the Rams doing this? It feels like their budget is endless. Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, Devontae Adams, Matt Stafford. It's just the rich get richer here in LA.
Yeah, it's an internal decision, right? You've got to want to do this and be this aggressive because these kind of opportunities do exist every year in most of these leagues, and it's literally just a want more than a desire. And the way the Rams are able to do this is they are using all channels. Really good mid-round drafting for the last couple of years that affords them the ability to move on from these first-round picks. Lots of internal extensions, which keeps the buck moving, as you know. And then there's no better value outside of a rookie contract than a traded contract, right? Because you're taking somebody else's non-signing bonus deal. And that's what we have with Myles Garrett here, which is going to be a really nice value. Basically 3 for $100 over the next 3 seasons for the Rams in what seems to be still his prime production years on the edge rush. So it's a big win for now the Super Bowl favorite Rams.
Should we have seen something like this coming? Maybe not to this magnitude because it was such a big trade. But when Matt Stafford was extended, is that the reason why they do something like this?
Yeah, you can. I think any of these big market teams that are top of the contention window, it's just the right process. It's why Baltimore went so aggressively after Max Crosby and then pivoted to Hendrickson. Buffalo has been in on a bunch of these edge rushers. I still think there's a Josh Sweat conversation to be had there in Arizona. You're seeing teams identify these positions that they know can take you. Maybe it gives you one more regular season win, but then also provides you an extra security blanket in the postseason. It's the right move for these top contending teams, there's no question.
A.J. Brown was a post-June 1st designation, and it didn't take much time at all yesterday for the Patriots to pull the trigger on him. How do you feel the Eagles did in terms of compensation when it felt like the whole way through they were only negotiating with one team?
Yeah, I wonder if there weren't a few more phone calls being made, but I do think their asking price was at 2027 first, and that was just a not going to happen situation. So what they ended up with in 2028, a pot sweetener 5th round pick, and the rights to not have to pay AJ Brown, which I'm not sure in this case is really a win for the Eagles. I do think this is 1 year early for Philadelphia, and maybe we'll never know exactly what happened in that locker room or on those sidelines, but we'll see. I'm not sure they're a better team today, but from a draft compensation standpoint, it's a pretty good win.
Mike, this was announced yesterday. Steph Curry has signed a huge endorsement contract. I think it's 10 years, $400 million with this controversial Chinese sports apparel company called Li Ning, and their product is actually banned in the United States because I guess there's some forced labor issues over in China. Why would I guess it's $400 million, but he's signing a contract for a company that can't sell its product in the United States? Is this just a money grab?
This smells real bad, and I don't like that Steph Curry is attached to it. I'm going to give you just my initial hot take thought on this, because everybody in the world knows Steph Curry doesn't need this money, right? He's got plenty of on-court earnings, plenty of off-court earnings. There's a lot of built-up capital here. I have a sinking feeling this is backed by the league a little bit here, which is part of the global outreach, right? And they're trying to make sure they can get in the markets that are untapped right now, which is sort of the vendetta of this league for the past decade or so. So it smells a little bit like it's more of the NBA utilizing Steph Curry's power to go in and get another market in China. We'll see if that kind of storyline comes out here. But man, this one is puzzling at best right now.
Right. Also, I've read a couple stories this week. Rob Manfred has been quoted. The Players Association, and another story, they've been quoted. It seems like both of them are posturing right now, getting ready for the big showdown. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah, and this is baseball at its best. I mean, every single time we've got a labor dispute, it gets downright filthy between both sides. So that initial salary cap offer from the league was, it was divisive, and the PA is not going to be gentle in how they respond here. So Manfred knows he's going to have to sort of play a little bit on both sides here, but we're headed for quite the showdown, as we expected, and I think it's ramping up even earlier than we thought it might.
Mike Giannetti, SpotTrack.com. On that note, a broad stroke question that dawned on me the other day to ask you. Why? We always hear that Major League Baseball players are never going to go for a salary cap, but most Major League Baseball players don't make the max. Most Major League Baseball players are somewhere in the middle or somewhere at the bottom. Why would those players who outnumber the Ohtanis and Harpers and Judges of the world, why would those players not overwhelm the discussion and say, I'm much more interested in raising the salary floor, in having a market like Minnesota or Tampa or Milwaukee be able to pay mid-grade money than I am in the Dodgers being able to make Ohtani the richest man in America? I don't. Yeah, so can you explain why that group doesn't overwhelm everybody else?
This is a very dangerous conversation. This happened with the NFL discussions 15, 20 years ago now, where the owner's job at some point here is going to be to try to pit the players against themselves, right? You want to pit the high-paid superstars who really don't need to have a say in this conversation versus the guys who are dealing with the 6 years of service time and then have to find themselves a free agent contract. That will happen at some point in time. It's going to be the Players Association job to understand that this has to be one unified voice. But I do think what you're saying is unified. I do think everybody, players included, think that the bottom has to come up, which is why you saw such an aggressive increase in the minimum salary conversation happen already. So we'll get there, but if the players are divided at any point in time here and you've got representatives that are making $30 million trying to speak for the players, it will get ugly, and that will be a problem for negotiations to an eventual lockout.
Last thing for you, the Oklahoma City Thunder have been eliminated from title contention. Chet Holmgren was downright awful in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they make a move with him, but him included, everybody included, what are the Thunder looking like in terms of how well they'll be able to operate financially going into next season. Are they finally going to hit the wall where they have to pay into the tax and all of that?
It's abysmal right now. They're about 28 over the second apron, which is historic right now. But, they don't have free agents. They do have club options. There'll be some changes to this roster. I don't think it'll be as aggressive as the top guys. But, there's a Hartenstein conversation to have. There's a Lou Dort conversation to have here. You will see some sort of middle-of-the-road trade, A, to help those finances and make them a little bit less restricted, and B, because, it's the NBA, and Sam Presti's going to have to change something, including, by the way, something probably with those 2 first-round picks, which are pretty expensive in their own right.
So it doesn't sound like they're going to be in the market for Giannis, then. Should we eliminate that from the dialogue?
Actually, I'm gonna do the rare Spot Track podcast plug. Keith Smith broke down a way that you could get Giannis without having to trade one of the top dogs, using a couple of salaries and those draft picks as compensation. So there's a way to it, but I don't know that it'll be that aggressive. Presti's pretty conservative when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Well, this is why we tell you to go check out the Spot Track podcast. Mike Giannetti, sports financial analyst, the best in the game. Go find him at spottrack.com. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Great stuff, as always. Up next, your text, your talkbacks. We want to hear from.
Thanks, guys.
That was good. That's a good Mike Giannetti impression. That's Mike on Mike Crime right there. More Game On right after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
We always talk about home field advantage in sports. When it comes to your home's comfort advantage, Ziegler Air Conditioning gives it to you in spades, all right? Their preventive maintenance program keeps your AC